All right, listeners. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. I'm not kidding. I looked around on many websites trying to figure it all out, and I was so intimidated. Then I found this site, and it just came easy. It has everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Who doesn't like free? All right, so here's what you have to do. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm your host, Chad. With me, I've got Mrs. Day. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
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 Hi. I'm doing all right. I was just taking some deep breaths. I had to go to Costco today, and that gave me major anxiety.
Well, I've been telling you that for a long time, but why is it now finally giving you anxiety? What did you tell me when you got home about the gun?
I just feel like I know I've said this before, there's so much bad going on in this world, right? I just feel like everybody lately is on edge. So the past few times I've gone to the grocery store, everyone, and maybe it's just me that's being paranoid. That's very possible. But I got home and I told Chad, I need to do a self-defense class, and I need to get my concealed license permit and learn how to use a gun, and that way I can protect myself if needed. I think that's probably reasonable. Do you think?
Maybe. You were already on edge today anyway, because for those of you who don't know, we got a puppy a couple months back.
It was back in April
and
for Olivia's
we
birthday.
Have decided to give that puppy away, so it's been a little bit of anxiety.
Well, it's been a lot. It's been
Paula
overwhelming
on the way. It's been a trip.
That's actually a whole other episode right there. We could literally do a whole episode on that, I'm sure.
We could, and we will maybe in the future. But today we are drinking with the days. So we're going to tell you some stories of our drunken moments and stupid moments about drinking. But before we get into that, what are you drinking? I don't even know what it's called. A vodka bubbly with a splash of ice drink. Perfect.
The ice drinks are almost too sweet, and the bubblies are not sweet enough. So I just need a little mixture of both, and lime.
Put the lime in the coconut. I'm drinking of ice. I'm drinking a kiwi flavored ice with vodka. One of my drinks of choice. Maybe not this flavor. Usually it's coconut, but that is the drink that I have right now.
So yeah, hopefully we can kind of make everybody feel better about themselves who like to have drinks and have some fun. I mean, we
like to have some drinks.
We like to drink. We have tried to tone it down over the years and just kind of know your limit, but we are flawed drunken crazies, or we have been.
We're not quitters. Sure. We do not want to quit.
We've done a lot of stupid stuff. So yeah, hopefully we've kind of learned from some of our mistakes.
I think on the most part we've learned, and then you have some setbacks from time to time. I think everybody's like that, right?
Yeah, like I have learned I cannot drink tequila, a lot of tequila. And I think you don't do well with tequila. Like I can have a margarita or two, but even after a couple margaritas, I don't know what it is. It just...
I can't do anything sweet anymore. I used to be able to have margaritas and anything sweet, pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris, all that. I can't do that anymore.
I don't like sweet margaritas like that. I just like a regular margarita.
Well, I can't do anything sweet. Pretty much that's why I stick to the vodka anymore.
So is that your drink of choice, or what's your drink of choice?
Yeah, that's my drink of choice now. The Vices, I like the vodka and ice. Drink of choice used to always be rum and Coke. That was always my favorite drink for a long, long time. Now I hardly ever drink Coke. I love Coke, but I just don't really drink it anymore. So
was that was that what you drank when we lived in Missouri? Was that the rum and Coke Zero and gummy bear diet?
Yeah, that worked really well. If you are trying to lose some weight, that's the best way. So just stay off the real Coke, go into the Diet Coke or the
Coke Zero
sugar, and eat a lot of gummy bears. Don't eat much during the day, and then do what we did and just have mac and cheese for dinner every night.
Yeah, we did that for a while.
Man, that's the best diet. Like, if I was going to recommend a diet to anybody, that would probably be it.
Wow. I think maybe you should be a health coach.
Thank you. Well, that would be day one, how I started off. Coke Zero gummy bears, mac and cheese, don't eat lunch. There you go. Minus 30 pounds.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your drink of choice?
So I tend to, it's because it's just easier. We just, Chad drinks vodka, so I'm cool with drinking vodka, and actually that seems to go well. Like, I don't get hungover. Like, I know my limit with it, type of thing. So that's kind of the thing that you tend to figure out over the years. You just don't want to be hungover the next day. We need to be able to function. Obviously, we're busy parents, so we really have to think this through, or at least I do. Here I am, the overthinker.
No, hangovers suck. You need to start overthinking that the older you get.
Yeah. So vodka, and then depending on what I'm in the mood for, vodka tonic with lime, or like a mule, like vodka ginger beer. I don't like just the straight ginger beer. There's I don't know what, I want to say it's like a Zevia, or maybe not Zevia, but it's like a sugar-free ginger flavor. So I like that with lime. I also really like seltzers, like especially the seasonal ones, the Trulies and the Bud Light seltzers. They have the flannel ones in the wintertime, and then the summery Trulies, and then I like wine a lot too.
You want to know the best part about asking you a question, like, what's your favorite? Like, when we do our top 10 list, and we try to do one at a time, and you're like, well, I like these three. I just said your drink of choice. You just went through what, four different ones? It
depends on the day. It depends what mood I'm in. Right. There's like, I don't even know, like, if it's cold outside, maybe I want a glass of red wine.
Yeah. All right.
I used to drink whiskey a lot. Like, I used to like whiskey a lot, but that doesn't like my body very much. It makes me feel like crap.
So I've learned that your drink of choice is anything. Pretty much.
No, there's anything. Like three: vodka, wine, or a seltzer.
You like beer too?
I do like that, but how often do I drink?
All about that Budweiser.
That was probably
she's the queen of beers. One time we were all camping, and that would be something that can go a little bit farther.
Probably one of my drunken moments. That's probably one of my but probably one of my most drunken moments when we were camping. And long story short, I was drinking Budweiser, and Blake was with Blake and Jess, and I think what's it called? Shotgunning? Were we shotgunning beer? Anyways, I drank too much, and I was trying to walk by the fire, and I tripped. I almost fell into the campfire.
Oh, you would have fell into the fire if I hadn't caught you, for sure.
Well, thank you for saving me.
You're welcome.
That would have been pretty bad. I can't even imagine.
I have too many drunken stories to even talk about. One of them would have been, we were at a concert, and it was called Country Crossings, and it was here in Southern Oregon. And gosh, I don't even remember what I was drinking, but I remember getting towards the end of the night. I had to go to the bathroom. They had porta potties. So I walked back to the porta potty, go to the bathroom, and I come out, and it was like a wave hit. It was one of those moments where I had lost all function of everything. I had my phone with me, but I remember sitting down next to this porta potty, not remembering how to get back to my seat.
Or get back to me, because we were together.
Absolutely. So and then I remember, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to text you. Well, I couldn't get my fingers to work. I remember that. I remember not being able to put a sentence together. Well, luckily for me, there was another couple there, and I think they asked me if I needed help. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I can't even text my wife. I can't find my way back to my seat. Can you help me? So they're laughing. And then they're like, what's your wife's name? I'm like, well, it's under wife. Under wife on my phone. So they did call you, and then luckily.
They're like, hi, we have your husband. And of course, I started to panic, but I was grateful to finally hear something because I had been calling and calling, trying to text, and I couldn't find him anywhere. We're at this huge venue. It was kind of scary. And then one of our friends ended up carrying you back.
A little bit, yeah.
Like carrying you part
probably
of
could
the
have
way.
walked back after a while. I mean, we had some water, but I remember the next day, because that was like a 4-day event, 3-day event. The next day, you know, because you sat in the same seats every day. We get there for the next day, and I'm not drinking. I'm hungover like hell. And then the guy behind me is like, "Hey, Chad, how's it going, man? You ready to start drinking?" I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? And I don't want to drink.
I didn't remember those people that were behind us. I don't remember drinking with them. I can't remember any part of it.
That's terrible. I hate that feeling.
Oh.
I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Well, I haven't either. That was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the other time, I'd say number 2 on my list was your brother's 21st birthday. We flew him back to Missouri, and
we were in St. Louis.
We were in St. Louis down by the arch, and we just partied. So we went out. I think we went sushi first, and we had some sake.
That's probably a mistake to
a little
start
bit of
with
sake
sushi.
bombs there, and then we went to Wings, and I remember having some beer there, and then we went out to that piano bar. And that was that moment where
You were laying your head down on the table.
I laid my head down on the table to puke underneath the table.
It's terrible.
And then the guy came up to me, and he's like, "You can't have your head on the table." I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, buddy. This is what it is." I had thrown up like twice, so we left. But man, I felt bad for the next people that would have showed up there at our table.
That's my
horrible.
gosh.
I know
That
it's
is
horrible.
So
It's not.
bad.
Yeah, all you can do is laugh.
Yeah, and then you went outside, and
Yeah, I went outside.
I don't think we could find you. We were wondering where you were.
I think you two had to go to the bathroom, and that was the coldest day.
We finally
coldest night of our lives ever.
It was below zero.
It was like 15 below zero with that wind blowing, and there was snow
Chad's
outside.
sitting in the snow, puking, and probably beginning to get frostbite.
And, you're right. So imagine that. And what does Paula and her brother do? They decide to take a picture of me throwing up in the snow. Yeah, instead of, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" I guess at that point they're like, "No."
Well, it only took a second to snap that, and then of course we attended to you.
Yeah, not that fun.
Yeah, blackouts for sure.
There's been a bunch of blackout moments.
Blackouts, and then I remember I used to get really emotional and cry and get mad, and we sometimes would fight, and it was terrible.
Yeah, nobody fights when they're drinking, though. I mean, that must have only been us, I'm sure. Is there one drink that's just made you really, really sick?
Other than drinking too much tequila or just drinking a bunch of random stuff, because you have those nights where you'll just, especially when you're first turning 21, going out to bars, you're getting all kinds of different stuff. So the next day you're going to feel pretty sick. There's one time that I made these Jell-O shots with one of my friends, and it wasn't like the little individual Jell-O shots in the little containers. We had an 8x8 or 9x9 little casserole dish.
I have no idea what they put in that, but I've never seen anybody do that.
It was Everclear, and I don't know what else. It was Everclear, but I don't know what else she mixed into it. But we had spoons and forks, and we were just eating that like it was some great dessert or something.
Not me. I was grossed out.
I was so sick the next day. I kept throwing up, and then I got to the point to where I didn't have anything left to throw up, so I was dry heaving, and it was horrible.
Yes, it was.
So to this day, I will have a Jell-O shot or two, but that has stuck with me for a long time. So I pretty much just choose not to have any Jell-O shots.
That's why I was surprised that you had some Jell-O shots.
One or two, yeah.
You had some at the lake about a month ago.
Yeah, for a friend's birthday, I had a couple. So I was like, well, they said they were made with vodka, so I went with that and just thought, okay, I don't think a couple will make me feel terrible. And thankfully, I didn't. But just even the consistency of Jell-O and everything, it just, ugh.
Yeah, I ain't doing Jell-O shots.
No thanks. What about you?
For me, it was Goldschlager. I don't really know what that is.
I don't think I've ever tried that.
But I literally can't even smell it anymore. But it's like a clear alcohol that has gold flakes in it.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get into this a little bit later. But first time I had that, got really, really messed up. Still can't even... I go into a liquor store. If I see that stuff, I'm just one, just... No.
So what happened with that?
So the first time that I ever got drunk was my freshman year that I can remember ever getting drunk. My freshman year in high school, went over to our friend's house, had a big party, a bunch of people, and I don't remember much. I do remember how the party kind of started, and I guess I finished off. So Jeremy and Tori and John could probably speak better about this, but I think I finished off 2/5 of that Goldschlager. Mm-hmm. And I ended up, I remember us doing some shots and playing some pool, and then that's pretty much all I remember until the next day when I woke up in the hospital with my mom looking at me, and I had alcohol poisoning.
Oh my gosh.
Had a
That'd
catheter.
Be so scary.
Yeah, so they just told me that I came up the steps and 2 empty bottles of 2/5 of Goldschlager, and I pissed all over myself and then just threw up nonstop. So
you're lucky to be alive.
Yeah. What was my blood alcohol level? Gosh, I want to say it was 0.32, some crazy amount. So I felt really bad about that one for a long, long time. Threw up all over their carpet, pissed all over everywhere. They had to end up calling my mom, of course, which was great. Mm-hmm. May have saved my life.
Most definitely.
Thanks, guys.
You got lucky.
When was the first time you ever got drunk? Do you remember?
I would say I was probably about 16 or 17. I was at a friend's house, and I wasn't planning on driving or anything. So I felt like that was somewhat of a smart decision, but I think about our daughters now, and when they get to that age and stuff, and I'm just going to be kind of a nervous wreck. So anyways, I had a fuzzy navel, I think it was, and I thought it tasted good, but I was just really, nervous. I wasn't sure how it was going to make me feel, so I didn't drink very much, but I think I definitely felt buzzed.
Was that when you were at the party at my old neighbor's house?
No, that was a friend. Well, eventually I think we got there, but we were at a friend's house first.
Oh, so that was the same night? Mm-hmm. So that was the same night that Paula was talking about, that she met me. But she doesn't remember meeting me?
No, I don't remember. So that was one of the blackout moments.
That's one of the nights that's the night I fell in love with Paula, but it was years later when we finally got together.
I was into somebody else at the time, and so that turned out. It was very interesting for Chad to say like that he was there. I'm like, really? You were there? I don't remember seeing you.
We were in the same vehicle, but I didn't leave a good impression. Although we were both with different people, so I guess that's part of it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite drinking game?
I have really enjoyed playing Kings in the past. Yeah. It's been a long, it's been years and years since we played Kings. But aren't you proud of me? I just gave you a straight answer.
Well, I'm still waiting for you to say 2 or 3 more.
I'm sticking with Kings. I think it's just so much fun. I don't know, the question one was always fun for me to do, where if you draw a queen and you look to the person to your right and you ask them a question, and it just goes around the table. You're not supposed to answer the question, and it's just fun to try to stump people. I love that game too. Mine, you're probably going to give me a hard time because I don't know if this is necessarily a game, but the beer mile.
I love the beer mile.
Oh, wow. That's surprising, actually.
It's kind of a game/event. So for those of you who haven't done the beer mile, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, the vice got me. You run a quarter mile. Well, you down a beer, quarter mile. Down a beer, quarter mile, till you get the full mile, 4 beers in. That's fun.
Yeah.
But you got to pace yourself, and I don't think I paced myself well.
Have we done it once or twice?
Twice. We have done it twice.
Yeah.
I love it. It's time to do it again.
Well, it kind of goes along with football season and stuff. I think it would be fun. We need the smoke to go away, though, first.
Yeah, the smoke sucks, but we need to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be fun to do for sure.
Do you remember back to the first drink that you ever had? Because I know for me, it was a rum and Coke. My dad used to be away on the weekends. He would go fishing at the coast, so I would always get his rum and make some rum and Cokes. How about you?
The first drink I ever had, I think it was a Fuzzy Navel.
God, man, I used to love those.
You used to drink those. And
I used to drink not a real Fuzzy Navel, though. I used to drink those Barnes and not Barnes and Noble.
I don't know what the brand is, but
Bartles
it's just...
Bartles and James, I think.
It's like a Smirnoff bottle, but they're like little... I don't even want to say seltzers, because the seltzers are not as sweet.
No, I think it was Bartles and James mixed. Those were great. And then we started
carbonated drinks, and then we drank a lot of Smirnoff. We drank like a lot of Smirnoff, and then we started making real drinks. And then you got into beer. You started with Fat Tire. Remember when you got into beer? So
yeah,
do you
it took me a long time.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it took me a long time to start liking anything other than bitch beer.
Yeah, that's what you called it. Everyone used to give you a hard time.
Oh man, everybody, yeah. I don't know how I did it because I could never do that.
No, it's so sweet. Anymore. It's way too sweet. It's amazing how your palate changes and you acquire different tastes. So yeah, you went from Fat Tire to Hef, and
Fat Tire was like my gateway drug, and I started getting darker and darker, and now it's
you drink motor oil.
Yeah, it's just straight up motor oil. I like 10W40. Usually, or I like stouts and porters and anything barrel aged. That's just kind of where I'm at now. Yeah, it took me a long time though to acquire that taste.
So would you say that you prefer beer or wine?
That's not even close. We did do some wine. You drink wine. We used to go wine tasting, and I would try all the wines, and I like dessert wines, I guess, if I was just going to have a glass, but I mean, who just wants to have one glass? So yeah, for me, it's definitely beer. Like I said, I don't like the light beers. I do not like, I'm not going to single out any beers. But, yeah, beer for sure. How about you?
I would definitely say wine. So once again, aren't you happy I gave you a straight answer?
Yes.
I should get like 2 gold stars.
So you are definitely a wine snob these days, though, right?
I am very much of a wine snob, and I will be the first to admit it.
You didn't care if it was $2 Chuck, but now
I tried to drink. I will definitely try for sure. But I recently joined a wine membership at a local winery, which was
not going to name them.
Really, really awesome. I feel like it's just that phase that I am in my life that it's time to have a wine club membership.
I blame your friend. Her name rhymes with
actually nobody influenced me at all. Yeah. It's close to it's close to where I drive by every day. I mean, it's close to my work, it's close to my route getting there. It's just really convenient.
Well, that sure helps.
And they have food, and I really do like their wine. And I tend to buy a lot of bottles there, so why not get a discount? That's the way I looked at it. Is that not smart?
Sure, save money. Yeah,
yeah,
if you're going to buy it anyway. Yeah, sure. We save a lot of money by buying booze.
But I started out drinking the really sweet wines as well, like the Moscato and Lambrusco, and just these sweeter wines that I will try to have now, and I can't even stomach them. So now I prefer I'm fancy like. I do prefer red over white, but I think like in the summertime I like a good chilled white wine, Pinot Gris. And I do like me some red wine. I think Tempernios are kind of what I'm liking right now. Malbec and Tempranillos. So yeah, so it's just something that you can just kind of sip and enjoy. I don't want something that I don't want to chug things. I drink it because I like the taste of it, and I just want to kind of chillax.
Chillax.
Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite drink?
IPA beer.
Oh, crap. I forgot about that.
So that's 3 in a row that I've given you.
I think I could have an
about
IPA
you?
before a mojito. I hate mojitos. I know it's popular,
It's
but I
the mint,
hate mint.
huh?
I don't like mint. So yeah, I could definitely do an IPA before.
Really?
A mojito.
No, I've tried IPAs, and I will make the face every single time. I
think-
make such a weird face.
Yeah, I think
like,
those
ugh.
IPAs might be an acquired taste because it seems like it's real popular. So I don't
It
know.
is so popular, and that is so surprising to me.
Smells like weed.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on that.
Do you think that you would rather drink by yourself? Do you prefer drinking by yourself or with a group?
Both.
There you go. You know, you had 3 answers in a row where you were doing one, you didn't answer. So
I mean, I like to drink socially for sure. There's no doubt about that. But I must say, I don't think there's a lot of moments that I am alone. But if I am, like once in a while, I'll be home, cleaning by myself or something, and I'll just open up like a cold seltzer or pour a glass of wine so I can get through the house cleaning or something.
does that help you?
It does.
Yeah. I tend to find that
It
because
sounds pathetic, but
no, it's because honestly, that first drink is really the best because it feels like that first drink is the one that gets you a little buzzy, you know, and then after that first drink, you're just trying to keep that same level. So that first one, I think, is always the best for sure.
yeah, I think so too, because you don't want to get too drunk.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I just don't care to anymore. I need to be able to function. I'm trying to be a responsible adult here.
You are damn responsible.
But also for me, alcohol tends to kind of be kind of a love-hate for me because I do like it and I enjoy it, but my sleep struggles and my body struggles with it, which that seems pretty obvious, like that would happen. But the older I get, the more it definitely affects my sleep. So I try to not drink too close to bedtime, but sometimes I do. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I am just really thirsty or I can't go back to sleep. And I can't do too many nights of that. So
yeah, I have a very love-hate, as you know, with drinking. There's times where it's not even fun for me anymore. I've told you that before. And
have you ever considered quitting completely?
Well, I have. Probably daily. I'd say every single day that I'm at work and I'm driving around, I'm like, I'm not going to have a drink tonight. But then when I get home at 4:30, the first thing I do is have a drink. So it's...
What's the longest amount of time you've gone without a drink?
Well, I didn't have a drink from the ages of 0 to like 13. So 13 years. Let's say.
Ha ha.
I quit one time for 72 days. I should have just continued to not drink anymore. I felt great when I did that. And then, there's been a few other times where you quit for a week or two, but no, I've been thinking a lot about that. I think I have thought, I'm turning 40 next year. Maybe it would be time to just quit for good at 40 because that's pretty damn old.
Oh God. You're just getting started. You're in your prime.
I hope for some things, but yeah. Yeah, definitely love-hate with me and drinking. I love that. Like I said a little while ago, I love that first drink and the way that feels. I hate the sleep. I hate waking up and feeling a little sluggish. And it's not fun. It's
I notice like
not
brain
good.
fog and sometimes, and
Yeah, I have that. I mean, you've got on my case a bunch because I don't remember conversations that we've had, which sucks. But that is part of it, especially if I'm 3 drinks in.
well, let's clarify. A drink for you is probably 2 drinks for me, I would say.
Yeah, I mean
a
typically
drink
when
for
I make a
you-
vice, it's halfway up the pint glass of vodka, and then the rest with the vice with ice. So yeah. I mean, that's why you said earlier limits are good.
Yeah, and I feel like overall we've done better of recognizing that and trying to do better over the years. So that's why, Chad has joked that he has a problem and that he needs to stop, or it's like, well, then I have a problem, and maybe we do, but I don't know. I really don't think that we do. Isn't that what they say, that how you have a problem, you are in denial? I'm not saying I'm in denial or anything, but I think that we do a really good job of balancing it out, just instead of getting mad and yelling at each other, just really saying like, hey, listen, maybe you shouldn't have another drink, or
Yeah, that really.
but that doesn't
happens.
even happen anymore. I mean, we're so active with our kids and the activities and stuff that we just can't. We can't do it, or we just won't be able to function, I mean, it's and I think that goes back to what we've said before, the girls kind of grounding us and keeping us going, keeping our head above water. They do that. I'm grateful for that.
Well, then, with that being said, then why do you think that you drink at all?
I like to think that it kind of just helps me relax a little bit. I know I can personally be a little bit tense sometimes, a little too serious sometimes, and for me, all I need is just one drink and then I'm good. But that's not to say that I don't want more, that I don't drink more sometimes. I definitely do. But I also feel, even though we don't actually have peer pressure per se, I mean, sometimes maybe we do, but it just seems so common, especially socially, that if you're not drinking, then somebody's like, either offering a drink, or they're pouring you something and handing it to you, or just assuming that you're going to have a drink. So it's really hard for me to say no. And so I don't know. I'm not saying I drink because I'm pressured into it, but socially, for sure, it's just more fun. It's just what you do. Get together with friends, you have a beer or two, or have a drink or two, and especially, we're gearing up for football season. Like, that's just what you do. You have some drinks, you have some good food, you watch some football, and have some fun. But Chad used to be kind of the peer pressure guy. Oh, you said the wrong word. You have to take a shot.
Oh, man. I feel
I
bad.
will
I'm
make
sorry.
a bet for
I
you.
will apologize to everybody that I've done that to before.
He's done that. He used to do it to everybody all the time.
Still
It was
occasionally.
so embarrassing. It used to be really embarrassing for me. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but it's like, Chad, just back off. Leave them alone. Like, they don't. What was that?
No idea.
They don't want a shot. So I'm glad that you don't do that anymore. Kudos to you for backing off and not doing so much.
Yeah,
peer
just take a
pressure.
drink. Okay? Take a drink.
I don't want to. Don't pressure me into doing things I don't want to
Yeah.
do.
Okay, do it anyway. No, I don't drink for the social part of it. Yes, when I was younger, for sure. Now, I'd say, honestly, it's more just a habit to have a drink.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
yeah.
Like that. Like I said, those first couple drinks I enjoy. Anything after that, it's not really that enjoyable anymore.
Do you ever feel though like it just doesn't sound good? Like, like you said, it's just kind of a habit. And because I
Yeah.
felt like that to where I'll come home, like, I feel like I should have a drink, but it doesn't sound good right now. Like, I don't want one. So I'll open up like I like sparkling waters and like LaCroix and stuff like that. So I might just open that up and that kind of satisfies. Or if I stay busy, or if we're busy with the girls, then I'm good. But if I'm just kind of like sitting around, I'm like, I feel like I'm bored. It's like eating when you're bored.
Yeah, it's definitely habit for me. I mean, when we're with the girls and having to do something, then of course that's something that can keep my mind off. But like you said, if I'm just sitting around, yeah, I'm going to have a drink.
Or if we're watching a TV show.
Yeah, if we're watching a TV show, it's great. And for me, it's not, I know you like watching certain TV shows and it gets you in the mood. For me, I guess it's more music. Like I hear some music and I'm like, well, I just got to go make a drink.
Is there a
I can make a
specific
drink.
song?
No,
Yeah, I can
just
fix a
anything
drink.
that's pretty much anything that's upbeat pretty much makes me want to have a drink. I mean, I'm not,
I told you I'm not a
not
huge,
picky.
I'm not huge on tequila, but the One Margarita song, Luke Bryan's One Margarita song, that gets me wanting a margarita, even though I know that I can't, my body cannot tolerate margaritas very well. So,
yeah, I think I've always had this part of me that wants to rebel. And even though we are getting older and more mature by the day, I still have these times where I'm like, okay, I just want to party. Now, party doesn't mean go out and get crazy wild, but
and go dancing. Remember when we used to like go
I
dancing?
do. And I'm glad we don't do that anymore. Actually, that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, we used to do a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't.
Now
miss
it's
that.
just like I'll get in one of these moods. I'm like, I just want me and you have some fun, maybe get a little freaky, get some drinks in us, and that is like the partying that I want to do. Not the partying with other people. I mean, I always have you in mind whenever I'm thinking of having a drink, and let's have some fun.
I feel like partying with other people, it definitely can be fun, but if we're not careful with our drinking limits, that's gotten us into trouble in the past.
Oh man,
Like,
we're not going in all of our stories, but we've done a lot of partying, a lot of drinking around people where it just got crazy, like real crazy.
yeah, and people get comfortable and flirty and all these things with each other, and it's a recipe for disaster, really.
Yep. You name it, we've done it. I know everybody says that, but you name it, we've done it. Aside from drugs, we haven't done that.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing that anytime
We haven't killed
soon.
anybody.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But you were talking about when to get a
I
gun
was just
and
trying to think of a way to defend
kill somebody.
myself.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like people just look at me lately, and like I said, I think it's me because I think I'm paranoid, but people will just look at me, and I immediately panic and try to not make eye contact with them anymore because I feel like they're coming after me. I don't know. It's just weird. I think I'm crazy.
well, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit of crazy is good.
But yeah, I like watching Gossip Girl. Remember when we watched Gossip Girl and they would start drinking like martinis or something, like stuff like that. Definitely the TV shows and sometimes music makes me want to drink too. And listening to music makes me want to go to a concert, and although there was one time that I had a sober concert. It was my one and only sober concert
I felt really bad for you.
I was recovering from, I guess it was a stomach flu. But my stomach was still kind of queasy. I wasn't even sure if I was going to go to the concert. I was feeling kind of weak and stuff, but it was an artist that we just really, really love. And
ZZ Ward.
Yeah.
Check her out.
yeah,
Awesome.
she's one of our favorites.
Not very well, not a huge artist, but man, she's good. Great. Check her out for
yeah,
sure.
We've seen her a few times, but the one time we saw her was kind of in an intimate venue up north, and
Standing room only.
standing room only, but we were right there. We were within
at
like
the stage.
6 feet of her.
Yeah, it was, well, the
Remember the
opening,
one guy
opening
spit
act.
on
Yeah.
you?
The opening, he didn't, no, it was you.
Was it me?
Yeah, the opening act.
should remember
was
this.
this
I was
rock
sober.
band, and man, they were great. But this guy I wouldn't spit. I think he was sweating so bad,
I don't know, it
and
was
he
some
was
bodily
just
fluid.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt really bad for you. You did power through. I think you started to feel a little bit better through.
No, I don't think I started to feel better, but I was just pretty stable. Let's just put it that way. I didn't have to
Yeah,
go to
'cause
the
we were
bathroom
standing-
for
what
the
we-
500th time.
What did we figure? We were standing 6 hours because we got there before, so we could have those awesome spots.
Yeah, because otherwise we would have been way in the back, and that just sucks. Like,
Yeah, I
we
tried-
like to get up front.
Not that we go to a lot of concerts anymore, but I can't really have too much to drink during these concerts unless we have a reserved spot because then I have to pee.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that
So,
sucks. Remember
right,
that
and
one
we,
time
like-
at the Keith Urban concert? We were right there up front. You had to go to the bathroom and you came back and they almost didn't let you back to the spot because people try to pull that.
Sure.
They try to do
get
that.
to the
They try
front.
to-
Luckily, in that concert, I had walked, we were also front stage, and everybody had kind of seen me. So they're like, okay, I'll let you back. But in general,
I was like, he's with me.
yeah. In general, though, that's the problem. And it's like these concerts are pretty long with the opening acts and stuff. So if we have standing room only, then, oh, man. I don't know how I could do that anymore. We haven't done that in a while.
No, we
We've
haven't.
had some, so I guess we just need to get reserved seats.
I guess so. But then but with reserved seats, then people get mad if you're standing up and enjoying
Also a Keith
yourself.
Urban concert.
Which is annoying. It's like, I don't want to just sit at a concert if it's somebody who's playing upbeat music and I want to have some fun and dance and stuff. Like, I don't want someone telling me to sit down.
Did you know that they told us to sit down at the Leanne Rimes concert we were at recently?
No.
So we hardly stood at all.
I was going to say we weren't even standing for that long.
No, we stood towards the very end,
Yeah.
sang a song,
Yeah.
and there was some guy behind us that told us to sit down, and we had our daughters, and I just looked back and I said no.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, said
See,
no.
that kind of stuff
That's crazy.
makes me,
Stupid.
I don't like confrontation like that. I'm like, okay, I'll sit down. But it's like, I don't want to. I just don't want to fight with anybody. I don't want confrontation.
No, but if you go to a concert, not what we're talking about, but if you go to a concert, plan to stand. I mean, if you go to an orchestra, okay. If you go to a concert, plan to stand.
Definitely. So I'm curious, do you think that people or friends, people that know you, do you think that they prefer you drunk or sober? Do they like drunk Chad or do they like sober Chad?
I would assume they like me in the middle. I'm going to say most people don't like me sober or drunk. So when I get in the middle, I'm a little bit more talkative, especially these days. When I get drunk, well, actually, when I get drunk now, I pretty much just
Tap
either
out.
go to sleep,
Let's say you tap out. Mhm.
except at our fantasy football draft last weekend.
Yeah, but you're enjoyable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say right in the middle. What do you think?
weren't like out of hand. You weren't like peer pressuring.
I don't know if
peer
anybody
pressuring.
likes someone drunk. I think people like people when they've got a good buzz because that's like what we've always said. That's what really makes people be
their true
apart.
self.
Yeah,
I
their
think.
true self. They'll say what they really mean. They'll loosen up for the people that don't like social environments. And I do like people in general that have had a drink or two. Now it gets a little annoying when they get a little crazy, but I could deal with that too, depending on the person.
Yeah, that was basically my answer too. I think I would say buzzed, like not sober, not drunk, buzzed.
Buzzed
So
is
the in
fun.
be-
I think
in-
we need
in
to have
between.
take a shot.
Ay, Chad. Ay, Dios mío. So yeah, for me, I don't know. I tend to do more crazy things, I think, when I have had too much to drink. Or I'm just like, I won't say, no, let's just do all of the things, like, the options are endless, it seems like. It can get dangerous.
Can be. Sure.
But sometimes I might just kind of be feeling kind of meh, and then I have a couple drinks, and I'm just feeling pretty relaxed and talkative, and yeah. So I'd say buzzed.
I agree. I like you buzzed. All right, so that's our Drinking with the Days episode. Comment on this episode. Tell us some of your stories too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Chad said, we have so many more just crazy stories, but I don't think we need to get into that.
We've tried to hold back. This has been one of those things to where we have so many stories to tell, but we never know whether we should tell them. We don't know how people will react. We have family members that listen to this podcast, so
Well, and
it's a lot, and it's vulnerable, and it's tough, right?
most definitely vulnerable for sure. But we've all, like I said, we're all flawed. I'm sure many people have done worse things probably. So
Maybe.
but yeah, it's been a fun experience. So I shouldn't say always fun, but it's been an experience to where more than anything, I've just tried to be more mindful, and most importantly, I have a family to take care of. So I focus on that, and that helps me stay grounded and focused, and that helps me tremendously. So I'm grateful for our family.
Ditto. You know what we're supposed to do? We haven't done this. We're pros at this podcasting game. We're like 24, 25 episodes in.
Whoa.
We're supposed to tell people to like and subscribe. I guess that's a big deal.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're stupid. We're amateurs. Bear with us.
Yeah.
We'll
it's
get
a work
this.
in progress, for sure.
So go do that, please, on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher. There's a few more.
Like and subscribe to the Days Go By podcast, and check out our website, daysgobypodcast.com.
Read our blogs, comment on those, go to Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
That's it. You got anything else to say? Should we go make another drink?
I don't think I'm ready for another drink, but I'm hoping maybe it's not as smoky out.
Oh, well, it's still going to be smoky, and I'm going to have another drink.
Well, that's going to make me want to have another drink then.
Let's do it.
Cheers to that.
Thanks for listening, guys. Peace out.
Bye.